What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today we are taking a look at one of my favorite all-time EDC knives, one of the most beautiful knives I've ever laid my eyes on. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps push the videos out there, guys. Tremendously helps the videos. So if you would, take the time, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Feel free to let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments as well. I love hearing from you guys. So if you are unfamiliar, that is the EMP EDC logo. That is my favorite logo in the entire knife world. Now we get the two-stage box here, and we have a date of birth card, and there you can see what we are looking at here today. This is the Relative and Damasteel, born on April 2024, third run, and that's really cool because I was born in April. Now, not in 2024, but I was born in April. So we have our knife here housed in a cellophane baggie. So a little background information on EMP EDC if you are not familiar. A lot of you will be, but a lot of newer people they won't know. EMP EDC is not a new company, but they are a newer company. They've been around for a couple of years and made some huge, massive splashes across the production knife world. John Rusk, the designer and owner of EMP EDC, I believe, has basically single-handedly, now it might sound goofy to hear this, but it's really not. He has single-handedly designed and created a knife that still remains a fabulous and dependable cutting tool, but something that you can manipulate and fidget with and basically have, a good time with, whether you are actually cutting something or not. And that is, believe it or not, that is a huge part of the knife world. There's people who buy knives not for the ability to cut things, but basically something that is eye candy and something that they can mess with, right? And John single-handedly brought that to at least a premium level with the Nimble series. Now, the Relative here gets its name because it is a relative of the Nimble. Hence the name. It's basically stemming from the Nimble and Nimble X line. Now, if you're familiar with the Nimble line, there's a rear flipper as well as a front flipper and a cutout fuller combo. On the Relative series, you have the front flipper and the fuller hole cutout combo, minus the rear flipper, which does give it a little bit different aesthetic. If you have not seen a Nimble, I have tons of EMP EDC videos up on my channel. You're more than welcome to go check some of them out. I have some collection videos. I have to do an update at this point, but we are looking at a Bestech OEM project. Originally, QSP did the Nimble line. Bestech has done the Thick Boy and the Relative as well and absolutely crushed it. John demands a lot from the OEM on what he wants in his knives, and I think he gets the best out of the OEMs. From the Nimble to the Relative, he just does a fantastic job when it comes to getting good results from the OEM. So this one is a little bit spiffed up, if you will. We're not looking at Damascus, Pakistani Damascus. This is premium Thor Damasteel. Not to be confused with Pakistani Damascus or something like that. This is ultra premium stuff here that we're talking about. We have a beautiful lower style clip point blade, and I've told John this, I think this thing is so well done because you have that buoy look to it, but you have all the function of a drop point in essence. I mean, you don't have to be that high on the knife in order to use that tip. And then you get a little bit of this belly area here. You have this, it's kind of like a Tanto clip point. You kind of have this, it's so subtle, it's almost unnoticeable. but there is kind of a second point right there. And then this goes into almost a semi-straight edge right here. So it's going to be a ultra useful blade shape in my opinion. You have the cutout and the fuller here, along with the front flipper. You have a full spine of jimping, which is just so well thought out, so well executed. I can't wait for the day that we see more of this from more companies, because there's nothing saying you're going to be in this standard grip all the time. Sometimes you're going to want to be up on top of the knife, or however it may be. If you're going to do the jimping, don't stop it here, and give 5 jimps. Run that stuff all the way to as far as you can, pretty much, or as far as it makes sense, right? And in this case, John did just that. It looks phenomenal, and you can kind of see in the jimping the Damasteel swirls, and you can kind of see it here. If we really zoom in, you can see it there. It looks awesome. Fantastic looking stuff. This is the first knife I've ever had in a Damasteel, and it might be my last one. These are not inexpensive. They're not crazy expensive either, but they are a fair bit of money. As to availability, guys, if you're wondering, I highly doubt there's any of these left. I will link the EMP EDC website down below, and you can check it out. But if there isn't any available, there will be more in the future. There'll be regular versions. There'll be premium Damasteel type versions. So, if this is something that interests you, there's definitely going to be more. You have no worries about that. He just released his newest OTF as well, and we'll be hopefully scoping one of those out very, very soon. So let's take a look at this thing in our Issuing Stitches Hank here. Now, what I didn't tell you yet is this is featuring a gold zircuti clip. Now, that is not stock on this knife. That is an aftermarket piece there. It's going to carry like all of the EMP EDCs. It's a perfect combination of aesthetic and functionality, where you can still get a hold of the knife, pull it out of your pocket. You have good retention. You have a good looking pocket clip, very clean looking, streamlined, probably one of the best pocket clips in the entire game. Not only for its carryability, but for its ergonomic benefits as well. Just the way that it's done, it works good to get it in and out of pocket. It feels great in hand. That's a thing that I've never thought one time that a nimble or an EMP EDC, for that matter at all, has ever been uncomfortable. That's one thing I've always said about EMP EDC knives. The nimble for sure, and the Nibble X and the Relative, they feel like they were designed and created for my hand. It's really insane. And I know some other people out there as well feel that way. They just are so comfortable. You have this nice choke up spot here, so you can, if you want to get out of that standard grip, you don't need the reach, but you need more control. You can choke right up behind that edge. You can get right up on that tip, as I showed earlier. Just a great design. Very, very ergonomic, comfortable in hand. We're looking at gold dark matter fat carbon fiber, which is a mouthful. Say the entire name of this knife, and it's a mouthful. You have the EMP EDC Relative in Thor Damasteel, Thor Damasteel, with gold matter, gold dark matter, fat carbon fiber, and a gold zircuti clip. That is a mouthful, and that's what she said. Now, these scales are beautiful, or at least this show side scale is. And what this does is it changes the aesthetic from this milled titanium, which I love. I love the look of this. I have another Relative that I bought that has this same milling done on both sides. And I'm typically not one for mismatched, quote unquote, scales where one is one thing and the other side is a different thing, right? But there are times to make exceptions, and this is one of them. It lightens the knife up, and it gives you the ability to do something really cool, like this gold matter here on the show side, but give all the rigidity and, dependability of a frame lock. Some people argue frame locks aren't that strong. If they're done right and done well, they can be very strong. But in the case of this thing is going to be a tank. Now, we do have a titanium backspacer here, and then the entire lock side is going to be titanium as well. So not only is this thing extremely comfortable, but this thing is going to be a laser beam as well. Like I said at the beginning, not only can John design a beautiful knife and get crazy good action out of it, get fantastic ergonomics in the design, but it's going to do what a knife is supposed to do. It's going to cut, and it's going to cut very well, and it's going to be very dependable. I have been, since Blade Show, which it's been a couple weeks now at this point, I have had this thing in my hand every single day. At some points, I'm not taking it to work with me, but as soon as I get home, at least I'm not taking it to work right now. I'm still kind of honeymooning it with this lady here, but no, I probably will never take this to work. Not that I'm never going to use it, but using it and taking it to work for me is a massive difference. When I go to work, I could be exposed to brick dust and just all kinds of different dusts and debris and stuff that can really mess up a knife. Not only that, you're smashing up against stuff and stuff smashing up against you, and it's definitely a recipe for marking up, breaking, chipping your knife. Trust me, I've taken some really expensive knives to work and regretted it because they have either been destroyed or gotten severely messed up. Now, that's not always the case. It's not an everyday thing, but it's random and it's unplanned. So I don't risk it now at this point, and this is definitely a knife that I'm not going to risk getting messed up. This is one of my staples of my collection at this point, especially of my EMP EDC collection, which, like I said, I'm nearing 20 now under my roof. I have almost 20 in this household, so definitely a huge fan of EMP EDC. John and Jamie over there do a fantastic job. If you haven't checked out their website and all the stuff that they offer, I'll link it down below. I heavily suggest you go over there, sign up for their newsletter, so that way you can see what they have coming. He does all kinds of different stuff from patches and stickers and wallets to knucks and different things like that, to secondary type carry knives, to primary carry knives, and all kinds of OTFs. He does a lot. He's doing a lot, and there's a lot more to come. You better believe that, because he's only just begun. So there's a lot more in store for all of us, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I bet on John a couple years ago, and I think I bet right. He has proven to be not only a fantastic designer, but just a fantastic man. Just a great dude overall. From, even outside knives, right? Just proven to be a great dude, as well as his wife Jamie being a fantastic lady. They make a great combination to give us knives just like this, designs just like this, and it's been awesome to see the evolution of EMP EDC, the progression of EMP EDC from the very first nimble to the very last, relative that just came out. It's been really cool to see and really fun to be a part of pretty much the entire ride. There's a few months of EMP EDC that I missed right at the beginning, right? But that's mainly because I didn't have Instagram. But ever since I, saw the Nimble and got my first one, I have been on board the ship ever since then. And we have since set sail, and it is an endless ocean of different things that John can do, and I'm stoked. I've been telling John that I would love a relative style in a Wharncliffe or a sheep split. That would just be also baller. That would be amazing. So I'd love to see that. I'm sure it'll come at some point. But could you just imagine this platform here with a nice sheep's foot or Wharncliffe style blade? Oh, it'd just be killer. It'd be killer. He does have the Nimble W, but that's a little bit different animal. That's more of a mid-size knife. Not too much smaller than this, but it's also a different design than the relative, slightly. But I'd love to see something like that, and I think we will soon enough. But yeah, everything on this knife is absolutely perfect. The detent, the finish on the blade, the carbon fiber, the titanium, all the way down to the hardware, the titanium hardware and pivot collars. The Zircuti pocket clip is just beautiful. The lighting doesn't do it much justice, but as somebody who's seen this knife in person, out in the daylight, man, does this thing just shine like a diamond. You guys will have to let me know. What do you think of EMP EDC? What do you think of this new relative here? I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, everyone. Really helps push the videos out there so more people have a chance to check them out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell. We do videos just like this one every single day, and I'd love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.